have you done this before?
Hell no. I don't think it's fun. And listen, dear white America, anytime you have black people in your presence, watermelon has a negative connotation.
Yep.
Let it go. Let it go. Things that were acceptable many, many years ago, even though it wasn't acceptable, it was tolerated, is unacceptable. It will not be tolerated. Find another tool, another mechanism to motivate your players, black players. If you need somebody, a white man, smashing watermelons to get you motivated, you're in the wrong line of business. It's not funny. It's not cute. I don't get these young guys anymore. I really don't. Because ain't no way in hell Mike Shanahan, Dan Reeves, Wade Phillips, or any of my coaches could have ever brought a watermelon. And what? And you think that's cool? And he bragged about it. Hey, we're going to keep this on the hush. He openly talking about it.
He did.
First of all, when I saw the watermelon, Coach, what you doing with that? If you ain't going to a picnic, if you ain't going to a cookout or a barbecue, man, you better not have no watermelons coming up in there talking about we smashing this. I don't know what Mike McCarthy was thinking. And I don't know what those black players in the locker room was thinking allow him to do that bull.
Agreed.
Man. And then you got Joe Looney, Tony Pollard.
They're captains.
And then
along with Sean Lee. So two of the three captains are African-American. Did they object? Did they raise an objection?
Hell no. Ain't nobody say, like, oh, yeah, we're going to be motivated. We're going to be motivated. I don't think they get the gravity of how ridiculous they look and the connotation that comes along with blacks and watermelon. But guess what? You won a game, so I guess it's all cool. Next thing they're gonna bring next thing they're gonna know and sit you out of a table of fried chicken and have at it, fellas. Y'all, boy, y'all look here. Y'all look here. Skip Bayless and sports, we need to stop all this old buck dancing that we be doing. I'm so disappointed in the black players for the Dallas Cowboys that they would allow this to happen. I'm so disappointed. This ain't about no motivation. Do you get what they done? They used to throw watermelons at black people. And y'all out there, and y'all think it's cute. You up there smashing it. I bet D-Law probably hit it about 5 or 6 times, too.
That was the one with Dalvin Cook's face.
He probably hit it 5 or 6 times. Little do they know. Little do they know what they think about it.
Is that the point? Do they know? Maybe these black players are from a different era. Were they raised differently than you were raised in rural South Georgia? Is it an age difference? Is it? It
is, Skip. But the connotation for watermelon and fried chicken never goes away.
I agree.
It never goes away.
Yep. I consider both racist symbols.
Thank you.
They are. And we just went through a period of Black Lives Matter in which we tried to eradicate all the racist symbols, mostly in the form of statues, remaining in this country. And it seemed like we wiped out many of them, but you can't wipe out watermelons because people do still like to eat watermelons. But when you start to smash watermelons in front of a team, I don't know exactly what their racial breakdown is.
At least 65%.
65? Could be 70, somewhere in that.
Because the NFL is between 68 and 70% African-American. So the Cowboys, I would say that makeup is at least that, Skip.
Okay, so USA Today quotes a Cowboys source, I assume one of the players, and I don't know if it's a black or a white player, saying that everybody was laughing so hard, it was entertaining to say the least. Okay? Is that what every black player thought in that room? I don't know. Will we hear any backlash starting, what is today, Tuesday? But it'll start tomorrow when there be some media availability.
Yeah.
Will any of the black players stand up and say, you know what, that was out of line?
Think about how many people used to laugh when the comedians dressed up, the white comedians dressed up in blackface. People were laughing. Just because someone laughed, that don't mean it's okay.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't believe Mike McCarthy intended this as some sort of racist slight. He'd be out of his mind. But he also was very insensitive to what that stands for when you have a team that's 65, 70% black.
Exactly.
Right? So it was his brilliant idea to take the watermelons on the team plane, because you can't get watermelons right now up in Minneapolis because they're not in season, obviously. So they cart them up there in the team plane, and he found a sledgehammer that would work to smash. And it's a little bit of a playoff. I don't know if McCarthy knew that comedian Gallagher back in the 80s, he used to end his act, or I don't know, I never watched his act, but he would smash watermelons, right? And McCarthy said he was a little concerned. The hotel was very concerned because it's going to make the biggest mess in whatever meeting room they were in. But he said we were very efficient and we had quick cleanup of it, and it worked. And it obviously worked for them on the field because they did come out and play their most inspired football of the season, which isn't saying much, but they did.
Well, if it takes someone doing something insensitive, racially insensitive to motivate you, hey, I guess do you.
And we didn't talk about this, but he also tried another sort of motivational strategic tactic, which was called across the hall. And I'd never heard of these kind of sessions exactly this way, where everybody traded sessions, where the receivers went over to the cornerbacks coach, you know, whoever's coaching the DBs.
Yes.
And, you know, everybody mixed and matched meeting rooms.
Well, that's what Coach Belichick did so well with Tom Brady. He's telling you what
that's one-on-one.
Right.
That was basically the defensive coach telling the quarterback what to look for.
I'm surprised that more players, because I always, if I line up here, I'm always asking the corners and safeties, if I line up here, tell me what you think I'm running. If I line up here, if I do this, okay, they were like, well, Sharp, why did you do this? Well, if you line up here and I'm looking at the front, I know you're in this coverage.
I got it. That's informal. These were formal sessions where they walked across the hall and traded meeting rooms. Whatever it takes, they were 2 and 7.
Don't you think you should?
Yep. You should do that on your own.
Thank you.
I got it. But this was a tactic I'd never really, in all my years covering pro football, I'd never heard of that before. Obviously, Belichick would counsel Brady.
Right.
And you would go seek counsel.
Right. Because I needed to know if you jump, you know, did I tip the route off? Am I tipping the route off? Am I doing this? And so you need to know the DBs ask outside. If you see me line up here, where am I weak? Where am I vulnerable?
Yep. So McCarthy was asked yesterday, so are you going to try the watermelon motivational tactic again before Washington, which comes on Thanksgiving, so it's coming immediately here. And he said, that's a great question. We'll see, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm hoping after what you just said that he nixes that idea.
They need to be done with the watermelons.
Yes.
Unless they're eating it for a picnic or a cookout.
Yeah. Well, the point is that I would hope that Washington in and of itself would be enough motivation. Listen, I grew up covering the Cowboys in this business when, listen, this is back in the good old days.
Yes.
When Dallas Washington week, the last thing you needed was motivation. It was all out blood hatred.
Think of what you said.
Yeah.
You said that was the only time Raider week.
Yeah, Raider week.
It's Raider week.
Yeah.
Do nothing else need to be said. Mike ain't need to give no pep talks, ain't need no promote, ain't need no dummies, no nothing. It was Raiders week. We were geeked.
You just are.
We geeked.
Right. And wouldn't this team be geeked after it went to Washington and just got its butt kicked?
Yes.
It was 25-3. And remember, Andy Dalton got knocked out in the third quarter by a John Bostic cheap shot.
You win this game, you're in first place in the division.
What more do you need? You just got embarrassed at Washington on October 25th. You look at the yards. You barely had any yards. The game ends with Ben DiNucci at quarterback, right? Okay. Is there anything more than revenge against your arch rival?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, not only do I take I set you back, because now I've got 4 wins. I'm in first place. I got to set you back 1. So I'm sitting pretty. And I still got Philly, and I still get the Giants. So that's all the motivation I need. Skip, that's your arch rival. You can say the Giants and the Eagles and all that, Skip, but we know who it is because of the names alone. It goes.
Okay, so above and beyond your issues with the racist connotation.
Yes.
Why was Mike McCarthy gloating about this?
Yes.
I've been doing this for a long time, and I knew I had to come up with something. You were
That's what you came. Think about it. Let that sink in, Skip. That's what he came up with. Of all the time, he's sitting around. I got to get these guys motivated. Not a speech by Rockney. Not by some army general.
Like a motivational.
Yes.
Speaker, yeah.
We got to storm the beach like Normandy. Not that.
Show Rocky or something.
Not that.
No.
Let me see. Let me get about 7 or 8 watermelons. Take them to Minnesota. Get a couple of hammers and ask the guys to smash them. And then I'm going to get the black guys. And they're like, oh, yeah, let me smash, Boy, y'all. If I was in the barbershop, y'all know what I would be saying.
Well, I just hope Washington is enough to get my team ready to play on Thursday because the whole season teeters on this game. Here we go.
If somebody would have just said that, man, I wouldn't even believe it. I wouldn't believe it. Somebody would have told me.